What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's beast. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am Tony Golick.
And I'm Brandon Winninger.
And welcome to another week of Beer Talk. Why don't we just call the show Beer Talk? There's probably a show called Beer Talk.
No, I think there's one called Talk Beer.
Talk Beer? Yeah, probably. We should know the competition. I mean, our fellow beer podcasters. Anyways, welcome to another week. I appreciate you guys joining us. This week, we are going back to basically what this show was originally founded on, which is home brewing.
Yep.
And we are finally brewing. Brandon, what are we brewing?
Our Cinnamon Roll Stout.
Yes, with the cinnamon. Yeah, insert applause, which, if you can hear, possibly, it is raining. We are in Brandon's garage brewing, doing this episode, and it is the rain sounds like applause right now. But yeah, so we got some cinnamon buns from Fannies. Our good friend Stephanie helped us out there. And we added it to our big Imperial Stout that we're brewing. So we should hopefully be able to drink this, I would think. Let's see, it's not really in the middle of November yet, but I would say a month from now,
Yep.
we should be able to have our first full pour off of this, depending on what we end up doing with this. Well, I'm super excited about this beer. You and I have talked about this beer for over a year.
Yeah.
About wanting to do it. And you basically finally pulled the trigger on this one.
I was like, let's do it. Well, so the original plan tonight was we were going to podcast like we normally do, but we were going to grill and talk about like combinations of beer and like grilling and stuff like that. The weather did not cooperate, as you may be hearing, and we decided that screw it, let's just brew. Why not brew? So we're here now. Brewing the stout in my garage, and so far things are going as planned.
Yes, the flame only went out twice for the heating up the
and we did not die.
Correct.
So that's good.
Yeah, the propane. Yeah, we were able to smell it. Before we get into that, I want to know what I brought was a beer that I brewed recently. And by recently, I mean last weekend. I wanted to have something light on tap because we've been doing pumpkin beers. I've done double dry hop, New England IPAs, all that other crazy shit this whole year. I've done sour beers, and I haven't brewed like a straight up just beer. In fact, the last time I did it, I did straight up beer. It was a cream ale with cinnamon churros, and then before that, it was I tried doing my Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone that I somehow effed up, whether it was the grains or my calculations. I ended up with like a 7.5 or almost 8% pale ale of Sierra Nevada. But anyways, so I did a beer. I just call it Blonde Ale, and it's basically a smash beer, single malt and single hop. I use two row from Breeze and 1 ounce of Cascade, and then to speed up the process because I'm impatient, I used Omega Yeast's Hothead Kvike yeast, which is Norwegian yeast, which I let this ferment for about 2.5 days till it was done. At 95 degrees.
How'd you do the 95 degrees?
I have a thermal wrap. Yeah, thermal wrap that goes around it. I hook it up to my Inkbird, or connect to my Inkbird to it, or hook it up to the Inkbird, set it in 94, wrap it around it, and then for the first 2 days I had a towel around it just to kind of lock everything in.
Yeah.
Ooh, here comes somebody driving by. Nice. Just to keep... They're driving very slow through your alley. Very safe. Oh, nope, they're taking off. Anyway, so Cascade, Pale Malt, and Kvike yeast. Brandon, what's your impersonation? What's your impersonation? This is only our second beer. Impression of this beer.
This is good. It's very, and again, you don't know what the ABV is on it.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about that in a second.
It's very light. I mean, it feels very light. But it's smooth drinking. The carbonation is perfect on it. Like I love this, and I'm almost through this.
Yeah, I should have brought it. I almost brought a full growler, but I was like, I didn't know how much.
Yeah, you could have filled up my growler. And
That That was clean, by the way. Last time you came by for the election, I had it clean and it was sitting, and I didn't even put that together. Like, oh, I could have gave that to you. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the way this turned out. The quick carbonation method worked out great, especially because I figured out one of these kegs, the keg that this is in, something's wrong with the poppet. I have to fix it because it is leaking. It leaks CO2.
Ooh.
And so when I put it on at like 50 psi, and I heard a leak, and I kept moving around. I'm like, forget it. I pulled it off, shook it up, hit it again, let it sit. It was cold. I stayed up. I think I kegged it yesterday at 7, so about 24 hours ago I kegged this. I shook it a couple times, hit it with more PSI, took it off, let it sit, did it 3 more times today. Good carbonation. I like the way this beer turned out. It's going to look really nice when it clears up because it's the first couple pours, so it's still a little hazy.
No, but I mean, I enjoy the haziness.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. It just looked really nice when I pulled my sample from it yesterday, and I was like, oh, that looks like good beer.
Yeah, and it's weird because I'm getting this subtle undertone of like almost like, I don't know why, but I'm tasting like lemon lime.
Ooh, okay.
Like very subtle. And I'm like, oh, it's almost like a recarbonated flat like Sprite type thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to like associate it with something that I may know, and it's like, but I don't know why. But I'm getting like some lemon in there, and like
there is a fruitiness, and that comes from there's fruitiness. I use Cascade hops, so that's like kind of piney grapefruity, citrusy.
Yeah,
and also the Hothead Kvike strain also puts off this fruitiness to it. The last time you had a beer with that strain was the last beer I think we drank of mine on here, which was when I brought it. Me, you, and Clark drank it, and you were saying candied apricot.
Oh yeah.
So that it's the same strain and same way I did it. I just like how fast it ferments and how kind of clean it tastes.
So are those is that a wet yeast?
Yeah. It comes in the pouch, and it's 150 million cells. So it's good. I mean, when I buy this yeast, I buy it because I'm impatient and I like the way it tastes. And plus, I think it's cool that I can ferment it 95 degrees, upwards of 95 degrees, and get a beer that just tastes great. Like it's just, I don't know. Great in the sense that to me, this is like my most beer flavored beer that I've brewed that's not a lager.
Yeah. I mean,
I wish I brought more.
No, I agree.
There's kind of a banana-y to it as well.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. Not banana in the sense of Hefeweizen, but it's just a little. There's a lot of fruit going on. It's very fruit forward. But that's it.
No, but it is like super well balanced, super clean drinking, and that carbonation, man. Like you did it perfectly. If you would have went longer, that would have been
sparkling.
Yes, you know what. And I can see how this would be enjoyable as something sparkling, but like something is like you want to drink a pint of it, this works. Yeah. If you went sparkling, which you could, it'd be like, you have a glass, almost like a champagne almost.
Yeah. And I think that's the yeast. It's funny that you say that because it's not a sweet beer. It's kind of dry. It's like it reminds you of if that carbonation was like that, it'd be like a dry champagne that had a little fruitiness to it.
Agreed.
But yeah, I like this. So this is my, I'm tired, not tired. I don't want to buy. With all the beers that are out right now, that we're buying, that if anybody's, that you guys are following us on Fridays, we're doing these Friday features. All these beers lately that we've done on the show have been these big stouts. And so this last Friday, Brandon, you did a barrel aged one. That one looked really good. Boulevard. Was that rum barrel or bourbon barrel aged quad?
Yes. Yeah. So the barrel aged, barrel quad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just barrel quad. So it's their take on an Abbey. Mm-hmm. And so the cool thing about it is when they put it in the barrels and you have loss, obviously from, evaporation, which is called the Angel's Share.
Yes.
And we said it in the description, which I pulled from their website.
Best way to do it.
They topped it off with cherries.
That's awesome.
And you totally get that cherry in there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that one. That's awesome.
It's a really good beer. And so that was one of the ones that I bought in the Mix 6, I think, when we did. Or no, I may have bought that when I was in St. Joseph. To talk about like vacation beers.
Oh, right.
Yes, I did buy it there. So
good pickup.
They do sell Boulevard here, so that is something that we should look for because I would love to have that beer again because I love like the Abbey, the Abbey style ales. The quads are phenomenal.
Yeah, the only Belgian we've only had one Belgian beer. I think it's the triples. That's all we've really done on this show. I don't think we've had any quads or other than your post. But yeah, like going back to that, the Friday features that we were doing, the first couple that we posted, the pale ale and I forget what the other one was. Just very simple because we've been doing all these big beers, and that was an exception. But this is like because of all these beers like that, and the barrel aged beers and these fruited beers, and it's just that time of year where all these beers are coming out. And especially living in Chicago, I sent you and Clark a text about, God damn it, why are all these like I don't have
why does everything get released at the same time?
I can't thank God that Rev does it spread out a little bit other than right now.
A little bit, a couple weeks.
Well, yeah, I'll take that, man. But yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
That's why I made this beer because I didn't want to buy. I want to buy all that the crazy good beer that I buy a 4-pack of, and it's like, okay, I have one. I'm gonna have one maybe in a couple days or a week or a month later. Not aging it too long. But I wanted something on tap that was drinkable, that wasn't the pumpkin beer that I have, because we still have to do that episode soon. Coming soon. We got
and I still have my Oktoberfest and my pumpkin beer.
You still have your Oktoberfest on tap?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm having one of those while I'm here tonight, man. That's okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good beer. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick.
No, I mean, this turned out really well, man.
Thank you.
For as simple as it was, there's a lot of flavor, and it's good, drinkable, and like, again, this would be something you should do like in the summer too, because this is a very good like hot weather day beer.
It's a good lawnmower beer. Oh
yeah.
You had mentioned about the ABV. Yeah, I don't know what happened during the brew. I was by myself. Oh, geez, I keep it in the cord. Sorry. I was by myself brewing in my garage, and I good to the last drop. Huh? I ended up somehow when the boil was done. I only boiled for 60 minutes. When I went to go empty it into my bucket, I only had 3 gallons, and I checked the gravity, and I was looking at like an 8% beer, and I was like, Jesus, this is not why I brewed this beer. If this is any other like beer, I'd been like, whatever. That's what I ended up with. But I specifically wanted an easy drinking beer, so I was freaking out, and then I remembered, that's right. During the old days of there goes my speaker, just turned off. During the old days of doing extract brewing, you'd have to top off with cold water at the end of the boil. So that's what I did. I ran some filtered water, about 2 gallons, while I was watching the bears get annihilated, and I poured it on top, stirred it up, sealed it, done, and that's right. So I'm going to guess it's about a 4.5 to 5% beer.
Yeah.
Or 4 to 5% beer. But yeah, I ended up with, it has to be about 4.5 to 5, because I think I ended up with about 4 gallons once it was done fermenting. So.
Well, it turned out well. Good job.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, insert applause. More rain? Nope. Okay. I do want to talk about this cinnamon roll stout, because that's why we're doing this show. If that's okay with you, I'm just going to talk about what this.
Thank you for transitioning, because I was going to transition.
Oh, into it?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. By the way, there's 2 more beers here if you want to crack open.
Yeah. Well.
See, most of the time, Brandon, when I do this by Brandon's house, when we're doing specific shows, or I come by Brandon's to hang out, Brandon, we've emptied his cellar, and it feels good the times that I can come by his house and bring good beers to share. Irony is the one that he is opening up is one that he bought for me for my birthday. And I told him I would save to drink with him. But before we talk about that, I'm just going to run down what we're doing for this particular beer, the Cinnamon Roll Stout, which we're just right now we're calling it the Cinnamon Roll Stout. We'll figure out what it's going to be. The grain bill for it, we went with just 16 pounds of pale malt, which I believe is Breeze malt. We ended up using. We got all the ingredients from Gnome Brew. Gnome Brew, thank you very much, as usual, for being a great local homebrew shop. So we're just doing 16 pounds of the pale malt 2-row. We did 2.5 pounds of the Breeze chocolate malt. We got so that's gonna give us the basically like a coffee flavor, and it's gonna add the darkness to the beer.
And just kind of on that, remember we were pouring it into the mash, God. And I was like, man, it smells like coffee.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it reminded and it reminded me that I haven't brewed a stout since last Halloween when we did the Almond Joy beer, which turned out pretty good. Speaking of coffee, we're drinking a coffee Dino S'mores from Off Color, who tonight is Fobab, virtual Fobab. And they won something for some Belgian barrel-aged beer. They got their place in something. Congratulations to them. Thanks for making dino s'mores. Anyways, so we also did a pound of flaked oats. That is good for, mouthfeel and body to the beer, so we're going to do that. They didn't have Caramel Crystal 20, 1 pound of that, so...
120.
120, yeah, sorry. They probably had Caramel Crystal 20. So I don't know if my math is right. It's probably not. It's probably going to up the ABV, which is fine because we're shooting for an Imperial Stout.
It went up, so I added it to Beersmith, and it went up 0.1.
Okay. So instead of doing 1 pound of the 120, we did 2 pounds of the 60.
Yep.
We also added a pound of the Carapils Dextrin, which is also going to add more body. We're shooting for something kind of chewy when it comes to mouthfeel here. We're going to add 8 ounces of a half pound of milk sugar lactose to this, to the sweetness. 2 ounces of Chinook, which gives about 61 IBUs because we need that bitterness to help balance that sweetness, especially with the lactose that's in there. And we are going to ferment it with Safale US 05. We're throwing 2 packages of yeast in there because it's very clean yeast as well. And we also have 4 Fannies cinnamon rolls in there. Now, we don't know how that's going to turn out. We know that, it looks cool for a picture, and it's awesome to know that our friends cinnamon rolls are in this beer. What is it going to actually do to it? Not sure. Maybe ruin the head retention. Maybe up the alcohol. But Brandon also has a tincture of vanilla beans.
I do.
That we are going to be adding to this once we go to
yeah, I think, should we do that when we ferment or keg?
I think keg. Yeah. I think keg makes the most sense.
Yeah, well, so because it's the tincture of vanilla is in vodka, and I don't want to throw it in because that might kill the yeast.
Correct. Ooh, by the way, this dino s'more still tastes great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That coffee.
So this was from last year. Did I bring this for your birthday, or when did I?
Yeah, it was for my birthday.
Yeah.
You brought over a 4-pack of this for my birthday, and I was like, that was like the best birthday ever. Right before the whole world went to shit.
Oh yeah. And what? Wait. So that was this year.
This year, yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this was the dino s'mores from around this time. They still had the 4-packs. Anyways.
Yep.
So that's what we're gonna do. The ABV. Oh, and we also bought some because we run into problems sometimes. Is our equipment 100% calibrated? No. Are we lazy about it? Kind of. Can we fix it? Yes. Are we going to do it? Maybe. But in case our numbers don't hit what we want, instead of boiling it down, longer so that, we have the ABV desired or the original gravity we desired, we did buy some dark liquid extract, and we're going to add that to it if need be. And if we don't need it, well, then we got some dark liquid extract for another beer for another day.
It's crazy how quick we went through that DME that we had gotten.
Yes.
Like,
because we did Doomslayer.
How much was that?
50 pounds.
Yeah.
50 pounds of it.
There's 50 pounds of that. Oh, and then did we get the lactose from there too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we still have the lactose.
We got plenty of lactose left.
Yeah, it was 50 pounds of DME, and I mean, we were experimenting at the time because as the 212 Brew Club we do. Yeah, I'm surprised. It was just that was I think the last of it. We had that, and we're just like, let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
I think
a 50-pound bag of it if we were to store it correctly, it would go a long way for us.
Yeah, and I think when we brewed the last batch of Soul Survivor that went into the barrel, that's when we used pretty much the last of it.
Yeah, that was it. It
was 4 pounds that went in there.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. The only time I used any solo was when I used 5 pounds to do a hoppy brown ale. I was going to do an IPA, but I wasn't sure how dark it was going to turn out, and it ended up just being a hoppy brown ale. That was it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know exactly what's really the difference between the dry malt extract or the liquid. So as far as concentration goes, so this is a 3-pound jar.
Yeah.
Is that the equivalent of 3 pounds dry, or is it the equivalent of 12 pounds dry? I don't know.
I believe. And if anybody, if I'm wrong on this, Mike, you can let me know. I believe that there isn't a difference other than how it is put together. Because dry malt extract, that's basically the sugar in powdered form. So all the sugars have been taken out of the grain, and the jar of the liquid malt extract is basically boiled down wort. So it's just all that water is gone, and now it's just a syrup, which. Yeah. I could put that shit on pancakes, baby.
We should do an episode.
I saw the wheels turning. Like, oh,
Wait, really?
we should give that a try. Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
What, not as for the show, but for the brewing, where are we on our timer? Because we're going to have to start some water soon, baby.
32 minutes.
We got a little time, I guess. So
what do we? So as far as the brew goes, what do we have to do for? What's our next? What's our water volume?
So I believe it's. So we started off
With 7.2.
Yeah, which again. So we're using your setup. So I'm not used to how it's all set up, but yeah. So we have 7.22 gallons to mash in at 156 degrees. We got it up to it's chilly out and it's raining here in Chicago. We got it up to 180. And then by the time we got the water into the mash tun, added the grains, added the cinnamon buns, we got it down to 154. So I'm pretty excited, happy about that. Then we're gonna have to add 2.6 gallons of water, so about 2.7 gallons of water, mashed out at 168.
Okay.
So that'll be good. And actually, looking at this, we're gonna have to make an adjustment to that. But yeah, so from there, then we're gonna boil, and it's a pretty simple boil. I'm almost positive that it's just 2 ounces of Chinook for 60 minutes right at the beginning. We'll let it boil. Once the boil is complete, we're going to take a gravity reading and see where we're at as far as the gravity goes. If it does not meet our liking, we will go ahead and add some of the liquid, the dark liquid malt extract to up it. Basically, just add some sugar that won't dry it out, and we're gonna have a big chewy beer here. And I had some other ideas, and
Chewy.
Mm-hmm. I had some ideas of what I thought we could do to this, and I don't know. I know you and I kind of talked about it. That what if we added some coffee to it? What if I've got some toasted oak chips that we could put in bourbon if we wanted to do that. I think we just go. We're gonna have to add cinnamon to it at some point.
Yeah. So just going back to talk about stuff. The calculations you're looking at were not calibrated to mine, right?
Mm-mm. They are. I have Brandon's mash tun in here.
Okay. Well, because this is telling me that we should have done 7.5 gallons of water.
Uh-oh. Well, we're going to find out how much.
And then 2.8.
At 204 degrees, and then a fly sparge. Yeah. We're not going to be doing all that, baby.
Okay.
We're good. All right. See what I mean? Just flying by the seat of our pants when it comes to brew days.
Making it work.
I mean, if we really wanted to, with the 7 gallons of, as I rub the mash tun, with what we have in here now, we could easily just boil this.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think we'd probably come. I don't know. I don't know how close we would come to what we'd have as far as volume goes. But I mean, that first runnings. I mean, that'd be the best beer right there.
Yeah.
But we want to do 5 gallons.
Yeah.
Do we need 5 gallons? I don't know. We
might
might
gotta figure out how we're gonna break it up too.
No, it's okay. Mike has 2 3-gallon kegs in my house that he wants back that I haven't used. I want to give them back to him, but I also want to use it for this so we can use it. But the difference is you gotta get pin lock connections. They're pin locks. They're not ball locks.
I've got some pin locks.
Cool. All right, cool. Well, yeah.
So so the kegs are pin locks?
Yeah, so you have to get the special connectors for it. They're only $10 a piece, don't worry.
I got extra ball locks. You just switch them out.
Sorry, Mike, we're gonna mess with your kegs. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So if we wanted to, I mean, if either one of us wanted to add like coffee to it, or if we did I just for this I want to do.
I want to taste it as it is.
Yeah, as is. Let's not go crazy yet.
Yeah, and especially like if we're going to be adding the vanilla. So I opened the tincture today because I haven't opened it since I put it in there. And I was like, blast of vanilla. And I was like, and then a little vodka. I was like, oh, but that is like...
Yeah, the vodka will go away. The fucking vanilla, though. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Like, thank you for handling and taking care of that and getting that made. And
it's funny because I have it. So I have it in a ball jar, and I did... So I think I got 10 vines of Madagascar vanilla, and I did 5 of them in there, and I filled it up to the top, not to the top, just to cover the stuff.
Beans.
But like I'm surprised that it's still like kind of clear. Not clear, but like you can still see through it. I'm like waiting for it to get thick and like,
Yeah. I think 5 beans is it's not going to get... It's brown, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
And I have more, so I can do more. So.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I'd like to smell it tonight, if that's
Yeah.
okay. Hey, Brandon, I'd like to smell it tonight.
Can I smell your vanilla?
I would. I do want to check it out. We should, if you got any more stouts lying around, we should just add some. We could test the tincture with it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Stout night on the malting hour. All right. Well, shit. What else we got going on, man? What else is new? Because unfortunately, with doing a homebrew episode, I don't want to sit around and while we're brewing.
Oh, hey, let's wait for this.
You guys want to wait? Yeah, I'm just excited that we're finally doing this, and I'm looking forward to when we get to drink this. We were gonna try and get Stephanie from Fannies to join us tonight, but she was not available. She did say that she would come on when it was ready to drink, and I said, not in your life.
I am curious. I'm always curious, but when we drain, when we empty the mash, I want to try that cinnamon roll.
That's in there?
Yeah.
All right. I'm
gonna eat that. Okay. I'm gonna eat that soggy
Oh
cinnamon roll.
my god! Oh, by the way, we were originally gonna add 6, but our wives wanted 1 each.
Yeah. Well, and these are big cinnamon rolls. These are not small.
If you're looking on Instagram, you'll see how big the cinnamon rolls are.
And yeah, well, and we had even talked too. I think yesterday we were texting. It was generally if we just throw in 1, it counts. It's a cinnamon roll stout,
which we were gonna do.
And it depended on how much we could get, but we actually had 6 made just for us.
Yeah, which is very nice. Thank you, Stephanie, and everybody at Fannies. Yeah. It's very nice.
And I brought them home, and my wife was like, "I think you only need 5." And then Tony came over, and his wife had said, "You don't need to put all of them there." So turns out we're saving 2 for our wives.
Yes, thank you, wives, for letting us, or not letting us, kind of letting us, not, for supporting us in our ventures of homebrewing and podcasting.
Yeah, but I also, you know what, I as we put them in there and it kind of clouded up, I was like, you know what, 4 is probably a good number.
Yeah, I think that's
good. And I was as we put them in, I was breaking them up by hand, trying to get more stuff in there.
Did you get a picture of it all in my hands at all?
I don't know.
I think so. Removing it from the tray was a pain in the ass. That was a lot of fun, but
pain in the ass. It's
just sticky. It was really sticky, and my hands were covered in.
I didn't get anything from you, but I did get that.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah. Oh, that looks so good. Laura will be lucky if I make it home with that.
Yeah, I mean, these are awesome cinnamon rolls.
They're so good. If you live in Chicago, look up Fannies. Find them on Facebook. We'll put a link to them on this episode. Definitely get those cinnamon buns. Yeah, they have great food overall.
And if you're in Chicago and you want to try to brew this beer, we talked about the grain bill, we'll give you everything if you want.
Yeah.
And you got to get them Fannies cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be cool if somebody else brewed this beer. I know a lot of home brewers that I still need to. I talk to regularly, and I've traded beers with, and I'm friends with them on Facebook that we need to have involved in the show one day.
Yeah, so Fannies makes another variation of this called the Sunrise Roll.
Yes.
And apparently, nowadays, it only gets made when I complain on Facebook and ask for it. And then Alex, thank you very much. Usually,
thanks, Alex.
Goes and makes some and then messages me. He's like, "I've got sunrise rolls. You want them?" I'm like, "All right." So this, if we ever wanted to do an orangey kind of stout,
we can have fun with that.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of the next thing we play on.
I think the orange would almost probably come through a little bit with that particular cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Because of using that adjunct in the mash.
Well, yeah, because what we're getting from this is just going to be the sugar mostly.
Yeah.
And we're going to supplement it with vanilla, so that's going to overtake whatever the icing.
And adding some cinnamon. I think some cinnamon sticks either to. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm brainstorming here. Do you have ground cinnamon still?
Yeah. I've got some Saigon cinnamon.
Really?
I don't know, something crazy.
We might be adding something to the boil, my friend.
All right.
Not like my pumpkin stout, but
Yeah.
a little bit. Not pumpkin. Well, my pumpkin beers in general. But I think maybe adding a little bit of flame out would be pretty good.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah. Cool. You want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break so we gotta get the water going, baby.
Nothing around here, buddy. You'll never amount to nothing. You're a number. Punch in, punch out. That's what life's about. Stalker, artists of the world unite. Come on, baby, gonna get it right, get it right. Get it right. Get it right.
And we're back.
Fuck. I don't know if people actually realize this, that when Brandon does that, I honestly have, there's a lot of times where I don't know that we're actually recording, and so it does really catch me off guard. That laugh has always been real. That I think it's funny that he gets me on that.
And so we're back, and we're both drinking different beers.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony is actually drinking my Oktoberfest,
which I've bragged about. Did we drink this on a show?
I think, did we or no? Yeah, we did. We did because you and Clark both talked about it on the episode we did when we did our.
Was it the pumpkin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we started with that.
That's right. Or no, was it on that show?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, you might.
Because we started with that. You guys raved about it.
Yeah.
Oh God! Thanks. Pat on the back.
And I am still very much in. It's cleared up very nicely. It's almost crystal. It's getting there. There's a slight haze, but I don't give a shit about that. It is just a really good beer. This is like the perfect weather. It's about fucking 47 degrees right now outside. We're in the garage. Yep. Excuse me, keeping it as warm as possible, and it's the perfect beer for this.
Yeah, because it was funny because I think earlier this week I was talking about something, and I was like, oh yeah, it would be great Oktoberfest beer weather or whatever. And my wife was like, is there still Oktoberfest left? And I was like, yes. She's like, can I have some? I'm like, I'm literally like, I've been like reserving it mostly because she likes it.
Yeah.
I haven't been touching it. I've been drinking my pumpkin pie beer that actually I haven't named yet. So
yeah, you should. And we did mention that before. We do have 4 pumpkin beers that we will be revisiting very soon. I would say sometime this month we'll probably have that episode.
We'll get around to it.
We'll get around to it. We've been waiting for our number one fan, Myke, who got away. He went away on a trip, a nice little road
home
trip.
now,
He's
so-
well, yeah, today's he comes home, but he's got
No, they came on Wednesday, right?
no. They came home. They're home today.
Oh, I thought it was Wednesday to Wednesday.
No, Wednesday till that next Saturday. Now everybody knows that their house was totally open to get in there and get Mike's sweet brew stuff and vape
That's
stuff.
why we took it all.
Yeah, he did a really interesting version, which I haven't. He gave me a sample of it, and it's a little undercarbonated, and I haven't done a carbonation test on it. Sorry, Mike, but I will probably do that this week to taste it. He did a dry Irish stout version of it, so it won't be a part of the blind tasting that we're gonna do, but it is a cool idea, and I briefly remember trying it on Halloween. He stopped by, and it was like he brought a growler, slightly uncarbonated. And the reason why I don't really remember is because I ended up, after you had stopped by, I would say maybe an hour or two later,
Oh, yes.
I had a THC gummy. Thanks. I was told that it was going to be very low, and I was like, okay. Kids, don't mix gummies and beers, okay? Do one or the other. One or the other. It never works out if you're mixing both.
Reminds me, I have a story to tell you in a little bit.
Off mic? Is
Yep.
it off mic story? Great. Anyways, so what are you drinking, Brandon? Because you gave me your delicious homebrew. This is a great homebrew episode, by the way.
So I'm hearkening back to our episode from Ailman. I'm drinking the Ladies' Man.
Yeah, our good friends at Ailman.
Yeah,
Love
so
those guys.
they gifted us when we left each with like a 6-pack
Yeah.
of Ladies' Man, and I've had them sitting. I have not have them sitting. I have like 2 left.
I was going to say, like, you haven't been drinking
Maybe
it?
1 left.
Yeah.
So I love this beer, man. This is just a solid. And again, when I drink a beer, I'm like, God, this is perfect for like this
Yeah.
weather. I'm
And
like,
this and that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's great now, but man, this is definitely a summer beer.
Yeah, which is why we lucked out and featured that on the summer beer episode. This is the 3rd time this beer has made an appearance. This is the most non-barrel aged beer that has been featured on this show.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, and they deserve all of it.
Ailman,
Yeah.
they kill it, man.
Yeah,
They,
I wanna hang out with those guys again sometime soon.
and we will.
Yeah.
So once again, kudos to Jim, Nate, and Brad for having us.
I was wondering if you were gonna get it. I was gonna let you see if you can get it out.
Yeah. So here's the caveat. The reason I always hesitate when I say Brad is because, and I don't know if he wants this known, but his real name is William. So like that on Facebook, like I see William, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, it's Brad. But yeah,
That's
so
hilarious. I never put that together.
so yeah, you guys just do a phenomenal job of like making solid beers. And when I go to Benny's, I see you guys like they're represented.
Yeah.
And which is funny because like I'll go there, and the last couple times I went to go buy something specific, but I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get some Soul Man if they have it. And there was like 1 6-pack left or whatever they serve it in, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be the guy to take the last one. Like, and again, because like if it isn't refilled, I don't think that there's enough. So, but yeah, I will start doing that and buying more. Just to make that demand even higher.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw any particular Bennies under the bus. But when we were done with that Ailman episode, I did go to a Bennies, and I stopped over there, and I was like, I really enjoyed the Dayman, the IPA, and I wanted to get some. And unfortunately, the Bennies that I went to, it was about. Maybe I should have asked the guys how old. I don't know. Maybe we talked about it. It was about 2 months old. It's coated in the sticker. It's sitting there, and I just didn't. I mean, not that I didn't want to buy it because, hey, I'm a snob. But some places just leave beers on the shelf for too long, and if it's not cold, it's not going to taste good.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And not that I don't want to give money to Ailman, but I think I need to find out who they deliver to regularly and where I can get it fresh, because that Dayman still stands out as my favorite IPA of this year. And you know what? That gives me an idea. For the end of the year this year. Now
Okay.
I know we have a Christmas beer episode we're gonna do, which we're gonna record soon, so we don't have to try and do something during the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pandemic. I think we need to do an end of the year episode where maybe we go and think about the beers that we had this year and what our favorite beers were, whether they were on the episode or not. Maybe we bring our side piece Clark back for that episode. Hi, Clark. To see if maybe the three of us can talk about what our favorite beers of the year were. You know, kind of a year in review. Some type of shining light of what 2020 has been such a dark shadow of. That would be nice.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for everyone, and we're
Yes.
not, putting any kind of cloak on that.
No. I'm fortunate that you and I, as you know, I did recently get tested again for COVID, and I'm good. Just a precautionary thing. I wasn't showing symptoms or anything. But you and I have a very small bubble of who we see and who we spend time with, and even when we couldn't do that, we were able to record. Far away from each other.
Yeah, and so we make that work, whether it's together or far away. With the beer that we share too, it's definitely like, hey, we do pickups and drop-offs. Oh, timer!
Time for the mash to end. Do you have a clean bucket? Is the bucket behind me? Because I can do that while you're still talking. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, so I was gonna say we make it a point to kind of do what we do safely. Whether it's just picking up beer or dropping off beer or whatever.
Yeah.
Chug a lug.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
I want to give everybody an idea of what this looks like. Motor oil.
That's
That
probably
is-
the best description.
That is what we want. Ah, and it smells like motor oil. Oh no, we're doing this wrong. No, it just smells like coffee, like roasted coffee. Oh god. I miss making stouts. Stouts are one of my favorite styles to brew and styles to drink.
Yeah, and again, going back to that, that is what got me into craft beer was stouts, man.
Yeah, I know we discussed.
We've talked about this on end in the past, but dude, stouts nowadays, there's so much flavor.
I smell. By the way, I opened up the top of the mash here. One of the cinnamon rolls looks like an everything bagel because of the different malts on it, the grains. But I just smell cinnamon roll stouts.
No, but I was just saying that stouts are they're so versatile and they can take so many different flavors. That's why I think that I fell in love with them originally. When
That's a train, by the way, if anybody can hear that.
if I drink I drink an IPA or I drink a pale ale or a wheat beer or a Hefeweizen, whatever. You can't go, I don't think, into the depths that stouts can. Stouts can just do more. You can have orange in a stout. You can have coconut in a stout. You can have peanut butter and this and this. Stouts can hold so many different flavors and still be present. But that doesn't last in you can't have a peanut butter IPA. You can't have
You can, but I don't
can,
think I don't
nobody's
think that
gonna
would be
drink
very good. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think stouts give you a nice canvas to mix around to mix up and play with different
flavors.
Yeah, different adjunct stuff you want to add to a beer. It's kind of fun. If it sounds breezy now, we have the garage door open because we're getting ready to kick this shit into full gear. I'm excited.
Time for the boil.
It smells great. The beer looks like
I can smell it over here.
motor oil. I just did the
It is so dark.
dude. Your little screen at the bottom of your mash tun is fantastic because I didn't have to really boil off for very long. It was just a little bit. It's just kind of flowing out right now. This is great. This is. I'm at a loss for words. I'm not. No, stouts. You're right. Stouts are a great. Oops, sorry. Stouts are a great canvas for different flavors. I mean, obviously with IPAs you can mess around with fruit flavors. I feel like.
You could even get into coffee, as Elman did with their Dayman.
That's true. Yeah, the coffee IPA, like I said in the episode, didn't make sense to me until I had one, and I was like, oh, okay, I like this, and it's very good. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think, in fairness for all the long, unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
No.
In fairness to all the
talk
long,
about different beers all day long.
yeah, that's true. I mean, we do got a couple more beers we can drink here tonight, but we'll just drink those and enjoy the evening and finish up our brew day. I was saying, in fairness to all the long after the final pours we've been doing recently, we're gonna do a little short episode this week. Yeah. So if you want to find us, you know where to find us all the time. It's themaltinghour.com. You can find us on Instagram at The Malting Hour. You can find us on Facebook at The Malting Hour. You can find us on Twitter
At The Malting Hour.
Thank you. Brandon, where can people find you?
BMDub81 on Instagram, BDub81 on Twitter. I want to find out who the guy is that took the BDub81. Actually, I looked and he hasn't posted anything ever.
You should see if you can get it back.
Hey, change your name to something else.
Loser McGee.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, you can. You can find me Asa Phelps Chicago on the Instagrams, and then on the Twitters, I believe it's the Asa Phelps. Let me check. Yeah, it's the Asa Phelps, which Asa Phelps is ASAPHELPS. Thank you, everybody, for listening, your continued support. We look forward to the next, I don't know, do we have, we do have it after the final pour already recorded.
Well, actually, so if you do want to message us, you can message us at info@themaltinghour.com. It's info@themaltinghour.com.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for episodes, stuff you want to hear about, stuff you want to talk about, suggestions, beers you want to send us, wink, wink, or anything of that sort.
Info@themaltinghour.com.
There you go. Brandon, love you, man.
Love you too, man.
And next week's, after the final pour, we'll bring back the guys from Ailman. We had a fun beer we drank with them, which was a sour beer from Watermark in Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah, Clark, yeah, that was
Watermark
so good.
did good stuff.
Oh, Watermark, we're going to get you on this show soon. Maybe with another after final pour. Until then, everybody, we'll see you next time.
Bye.